If you're selling a home in California and sitting on $1 million in equity, what can you buy in Tucson? This is really going to surprise you, and I'm not talking about downsizing. I'm talking about upgrading your entire lifestyle while keeping most of your equity intact. I'm Meg Estes, your easy home girl. I'm a real estate agent based in Vail, Arizona, just outside of Tucson, and I work with California relocators every single month. People moving from the Bay Area, San Diego, Orange County, and Los Angeles. People who are selling homes for 1.2 to 1.5 million sometimes or more. And they're shocked when I show them what $1 million buys you in Tucson. Here's what most people don't realize. In Tucson, $1 million isn't just a nice house. It's acreage, it's horse property with custom barns and mountain views. It could be a luxury estate in a golf course community, but it's financial freedom. Today, I'm walking you through exactly what $1 million buys you in different areas around Tucson. The property types, the neighborhoods, the lifestyle, and more importantly, I'm going to show you how California relocators are using their equity to completely change the quality of life. So let's get into it. Let's start with where you're coming from. If you bought a home in California 10, 15, 20 years ago, you're sitting on massive equity right now. A home you bought in the Bay Area for $600,000 in 2010 could easily be worth $1.5 million today. A home in San Diego you bought for $400,000 could be $1.2 million now. The equity is very real. And the question is, what do you do with it? A lot of California sellers are taking that equity and relocating to states where their money goes a lot further. And Arizona is one of those top destinations. And here's why. In California, if you sell your $1.5 million home and want to stay in the same area, you're buying another $1.5 million home. You are moving laterally. Maybe you're getting a slightly bigger yard or one more bedroom, but you're not fundamentally changing your lifestyle. In Tucson, that same $1.5 million in equity changes everything. You can buy a $600,000 property in Tucson and bank $900K after closing costs. Or you can buy a $1 million property, live mortgage free, and still have $500,000 left over. And here's the part that matters. The properties you're buying in Tucson for $600,000 to $1 million are not comparable to a $600,000 California home. They are luxury, their space, their lifestyle. Let me show you exactly what I mean. So what does $1 million actually buy you in Tucson? It depends on what you want, but here are the main categories. Ranch and horse property. For $1 million in Vail, Sonoita, or Tanque Verde, you're looking at 5 to 20 acres with a custom home, horse facilities, mountain views, and complete privacy. For $1 million in Dove Mountain, Oro Valley, or the Foothills, you're getting 3,000 to 5,000 square feet, resort-style backyards, country club access, and guard-gated security. For high-end new construction in Vail or Marana, $1 million can buy you a brand new 3,500 square foot home with premium finishes, a casita, and room to expand. Now, luxury 55 and up retirement communities. For $1 million in Saddlebrook or the Preserve, you're buying a turnkey home with golf, clubhouses, and amenities you'd expect from a resort. The point is, $1 million in Tucson gives you options, real options. And depending on your priorities, you can buy the ranch property, the golf course estate, or the retirement community and still have equity left over. Let me break down each category so you can see what's actually available. Let's start with my favorite, which are ranch and horse property. This is where a lot of California buyers are surprised because for $600,000 to $1 million in Tucson, you can own acreage with a custom home and full equestrian facilities. In Vail, $800,000 to $1 million gets you 5 to 10 acres, a 2,500 to 3,500 square foot home, a 4 to 6 stall barn with tack room and wash rack, pipe fencing, an arena, RV parking, and 360-degree mountain views. You're zoned for horses. You have well water or city water depending on the property. You're 20 minutes from Tucson but feel completely remote. And here's what matters. These properties are turnkey for horse owners. The infrastructure is already there: barns, fencing, arenas, water. You're not building from scratch. And in Sonoita, $700,000 to $1 million gets you 10 to 20 acres in wine country. You're at a 4,500 to 5,000 foot elevation, so summers are way cooler. You have rolling hills, grasslands, and access to some of the best wineries in Arizona. Properties in Sonoita tend to be more spread out, larger parcels, more privacy. You're an hour from Tucson, but you're also 45 minutes from the Mexican border and close to Patagonia and the Huachuca Mountains. In Tanque Verde, $900,000 to $1.2 million gets you a luxury ranch property closer to Tucson. You're still on acreage, but you're 15 to 20 minutes away from shopping, restaurants, and city amenities. Tanque Verde properties tend to have higher end finishes. They have custom kitchens, great rooms with vaulted ceilings, resort-style backyards with pools and outdoor kitchens. Here's the key difference between ranch property in Tucson and ranch property in California. In California, if you want 5 to 10 acres with a custom home and horse facilities in a desirable area, you're probably looking at like $2 million, but often $3 million or more. In Tucson, you're buying that same type of property for $800,000 to $1 million. And you're getting more land, newer construction, and lower property taxes. The lifestyle upgrade is significant. Here's what you need to know about golf course communities in Tucson. These aren't just nice neighborhoods. They're lifestyle communities. You have access to world-class golf, dining, fitness, and social activities without leaving the property. And at $700,000 to $1.2 million, you're buying luxury that would cost $2 million to $3 million in comparable California golf communities. Okay, let's talk new construction. If you want a brand new home with modern finishes and no maintenance issues, Tucson has an incredible option in the $600,000 to $1 million range. In Vail, builders like Dorn Homes, Fairfield, and Meritage are building 3,000 to 4,000 square foot homes on larger lots starting at $600,000 to $800,000. You're getting 4 to 5 bedrooms, 3 to 4 bathrooms, casitas, gourmet kitchens with quartz countertops and stainless steel appliances, great rooms with 12-foot ceilings, and 3 car garages. And because you're in Vail, lot sizes are bigger. You're on a 1/4 acre to 1/2 acre, sometimes even more. You have room for a pool, RV parking, and future expansion. In Marana, new construction in the $700,000 to $1 million range gets you similar square footage, but more established communities closer to shopping and amenities. Marana is growing fast. New schools, new shopping centers, new restaurants. And you're 20 to 25 minutes from Tucson. In Oro Valley, new construction at $800,000 to $1 million tends to be in smaller luxury communities with HOAs, but you're getting resort-style amenities and access to top-rated schools. Here's why new construction makes sense for a lot of California relocators. You're buying a home with a 10-year structural warranty. Everything is new: the HVAC, the roof, the appliances, the flooring. You're not inheriting someone else's deferred maintenance. And if you're moving from California, where everything is 40, 50, 60 years old sometimes, and you're constantly fixing things, new construction in Tucson is a huge relief. You move in and nothing breaks for 10 years. Now, let's talk luxury 55 and up retirement communities. If you're retiring from California with equity, Tucson has some of the best active adult communities in the country. In Saddlebrook, $500,000 to $700,000 gets you a 2,000 to 2,500 square foot home with golf, multiple clubhouses, pools, tennis, pickleball, fitness centers, and over 100 clubs and social groups. Saddlebrook is 30 minutes north of Tucson at 3,500 square feet. Summers are 5 to 10 degrees cooler than Tucson. You have mountain views, hiking trails, and strong community vibes. In Saddlebrook Ranch, $600,000 to $800,000 gets you a newer construction with modern finishes. Now, let's talk luxury golf course estates. If ranch living isn't your thing, that's okay, because Tucson has an incredible golf course community where $700,000 to $1.2 million buys you a luxury estate with resort level amenities. In Dove Mountain, $900,000 to $1.2 million gets you a 3,500 to 4,500 square foot home in a guard gated community with access to championship golf, clubhouse dining, fitness centers, and pools. Homes in Dove Mountain tend to be Southwestern contemporary. Clean lines, floor to ceiling windows, gourmet kitchens, great rooms that open up to covered patios. The backyards are resort style. Infinity pools, outdoor kitchens, fire features, mountain views. You're surrounded by saguaros and desert landscaping, and it's beautiful. And you're in Marana, which is one of the fastest growing areas in Tucson. You're close to shopping, restaurants, and Oro Valley. In Oro Valley, $800,000 to $1 million gets you a luxury home in communities like Stone Canyon or the Canyons. You have golf, hiking trails, and access to some of the best schools in Southern Arizona. Oro Valley is more family oriented than Dove Mountain. You're closer to Tucson, closer to the Catalina Foothills, and you have access to everything. Homes in this price range tend to be 3,000 to 4,000 square feet with casitas. They also offer 3-car garages and high-end finishes. In the Catalina Foothills, $1 million to $1.5 million gets you a luxury estate with Catalina mountain views. This is the most established luxury area in Tucson. You're closer to downtown Tucson, but you're also at a higher elevation with cooler temperatures. You have access to Sabino Canyon, hiking trails, and some of Tucson's best restaurants. Here's what you need to know about golf course communities in Tucson. These aren't just nice neighborhoods, they are lifestyle communities. You have access to world-class golf, dining, fitness, and social activities without leaving the property. And at $700,000 to $1.2 million, you're buying $2 to $3 million comparable California golf communities. Saddlebrook Ranch is a Robson's newer development with a 40,000 square foot ranch house clubhouse. There's also a brewery, a restaurant, and community garden. In the preserve at Saddlebrook, $700,000 to $1 million gets you the luxury tier. Larger homes at 2,500 to 3,500 square feet, upscale finishes, and exclusive access to the preserve's private golf course and clubhouse. In Dove Mountain's 55 and up communities, you have the Highlands and Del Webb. $500,000 to $700,000 gets you a home with access to golf, clubhouses, and a smaller, more intimate community feel. Here's what California retirees need to know. These aren't just retirement communities, they're resort communities. You have amenities, activities, and social opportunities that rival anything you'd find at a country club. And at $500,000 to $1 million, you're buying a lifestyle that would cost $1.5 million to $2 million in comparable California retirement communities like Rossmore or Del Webb in the Bay Area. Now, let's talk cost of living, because it's not just about the home price. It's about what it costs to actually live here. Property taxes in Arizona are significantly lower than California. In California, if you're paying property taxes on a $1.5 million home, you're probably looking at $15,000 to $20,000 per year, depending on the county. In Arizona, property taxes on a $1 million home are around $7,000 to $10,000 per year. That's half. And because Arizona doesn't have Prop 13 restrictions like California does, your property taxes don't skyrocket when you buy a new home. They're based on an assessed value, and they're capped at how much they can actually increase each year. Income taxes are also different here. California's top income tax rate is 13.3% and Arizona's is 4.5%. If you're retiring with pension income, investment income, or you're still working remotely, that tax difference is significant. Here, utilities are also lower. Tucson is also surrounded by 5 mountain ranges. You have hiking, biking, and outdoor recreation everywhere. Saguaro National Park, Sabino Canyon, Catalina State Park, Mount Lemmon. You're a 20-minute drive from a lot of different trailheads. If you're moving from California and you love the outdoors, Tucson definitely delivers on that. Then we have food and wine. Tucson is the UNESCO city of gastronomy, which we have an incredible restaurant scene, local breweries, and Sonoita wine country 45 minutes south of the city. You're not giving up quality food and wine when you move to Tucson. You're actually gaining access to the food scene that rivals anything in California culture. Tucson has museums, galleries, symphonies, theaters, and festivals year-round. We have the Gem Show in February, Folk Festival in April, Agave Heritage Festival, Day of the Dead celebrations. There's always something happening here. And then our airport access. So the international airport has direct flights to most major cities. You can fly to California in an hour, and you can fly to Midwest, Texas, and East Coast with one connection. You're not isolated, you are connected. The lifestyle in Tucson is relaxed. It's slower paced than California, but it's not boring. There's culture, food, outdoor access, and community. And for most California relocators, the shift in pace is exactly what they are looking for. So if you're thinking about moving from California to Tucson, here's what you need to consider. First, visit in the summer. Don't make the decision based on winter weather. Come to Tucson in June or July and experience the heat. Make sure that you can handle it. A lot of people visit in February when it's 75, sunny, and gorgeous out, and they think this is perfect. Then they move here and realize summer is very intense. Visit in the summer, spend a week here, see if you can adapt. I can even suggest a few good resorts to stay at. Second, understand water and utilities in rural areas. If you're buying ranch property in Vail, Sonoita, or Tanque Verde, you may be on a well. That means you're responsible for well maintenance and you need to verify water quality and flow before you buy. If you're in a golf course community or 55 and up community, you're on city water. No issues. But if you're moving from California where everything is city water and sewer, the transition to well and septic can be a learning curve. Third, think about proximity to amenities. If you're buying in Vail or Sonoita, you're 20 to 60 minutes away from Tucson. That means grocery stores, restaurants, shopping, and medical care do require a drive. If you're fine with that, great. But if you're used to urban convenience and you want to factor that in, then we want to talk about walkability and quick access to everything, which is what Oro Valley and the Foothills have as better options. Fourth, talk to a financial advisor about tax implications. California doesn't tax retirement income for Social Security, but Arizona does. Arizona taxes on pension income are lower because of the overall lower income tax rate, but there are nuances. So talk to a CPA who understands California to Arizona relocations. Make sure you're clear on how the move impacts your taxes. And fifth, work with an agent who understands California relocation. I do work with California buyers all of the time. I understand the equity that you're bringing. I understand what you're used to, and I know how to find properties that match your expectations. Don't work with an agent who doesn't understand the California market. You need someone who gets it. So that's what $1 million buys you in Tucson. Ranch and horse property with acreage and custom facilities. Luxury golf course estates with resort amenities. High-end new construction with warranties and modern finishes, or luxury 55 and up communities with world-class clubhouses and activities. And depending on where you buy, you're spending $600,000 to $1 million and banking the rest of that California equity. That's financial freedom, that's lifestyle upgrade, and that's what California relocators are discovering here in Tucson. So here's my question for you. If you're sitting on California equity right now, what's holding you back? Drop it in the comments. And if you want my complete Tucson relocation guide with everything you need to know about the move, tax implications, neighborhoods, and property types, just text me Tucson guide below. I'll send that over, no problem. You can also send me a text at 520-980-9880. And if you're serious about relocating from California to Tucson and want help finding the right property, please shoot me a text or a simple phone call. I'll walk you through your options, show you properties, and make sure you're making smart financial decisions. I'm Meg Estes, your easy home girl. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button because I am putting out 2 videos a week that cover Tucson real estate, relocation, and everything you need to know about living in Southern Arizona.